So ran out of room on the card. The dream at the table at the yard sale, and the main thing people showed interest at my table was this banner of sorts, or decor, that was just simple twine or burlap string with red stars on it. And I didn't think there was much, I didn't have much interest in it. I didn't know people would be interested in it, but people kept asking about it. And in my mind I thought, well, this isn't even for sale, it's just something we had up for decor for the past national holiday we had in America, which in my mind when I woke up I connected that to Memorial Day, because in fact it was Memorial Day when I had the dream. So I thought, well, I guess they could use it for the next national holiday that's coming up. When I woke up, it occurred to me that would be the 4th of July or Independence Day here in America. But at that point I was kind of like, I don't understand why people are so interested in this. But the woman wanted to buy it, and she insisted she give me money, but it wasn't normal money. It was like these tokens, and they looked like buttons kind of, except one was shaped more like a bar of soap, and it was a little smaller, like maybe hotel soap. They were red and kind of an off-white color, and they had numbers on them, but they weren't any money I'd ever seen before, but I knew that that's what she was trying to pay me with, so I knew it had to have some sort of value. But I didn't understand. I didn't know if I owed her change back or if that was the proper amount, so I turned my head to ask someone that might know, you know, do I owe her money? What is this? And when I turned my head, instead my eye caught the sky, just like in the dream from before. And so at this point, what was in the sky was inflatable Christmas decor, but it was Santa Clauses. So inflatable Santa Clauses floating up in the sky. And it was just one at first. And it was Santa with a pack, with his sack on his back. And I was like, what? That is so weird. Which of course would be weird anyway to see that in the sky. But I also thought, that doesn't make sense. This is summer and that's winter. So once I noticed that and thought it was strange, there was more. There was another Santa. This Santa was on a sleigh, and this Santa was doing something else, but there's all these inflatable Santas up in the sky. So I'm getting really tickled and pointing it out, and when I did, other people started noticing as well. And once they noticed, there were other holidays represented in inflatable form. So there was like a turkey, I think, inflatable for Thanksgiving. There was some sort of a Halloween one up in there in the sky, and I just thought it was really funny. But at that point, I went, oh my gosh! Even in the dream, I said, this is just like my other dream, where God had things coming down from the sky to me. So I recognized at that point that it was a prophetic dream while I was in the prophetic dream, which was super cool. That's happened a few times for me. And they're usually really, really vivid too. And usually I wake up immediately at the end of the dream with like at least some grasp of what the meaning of the dream was. Though he tends to reveal more details even a year later. He'll tell me more and more. But so at this point, they had fell to the sky. Pay attention, sweetheart. It's moving. They fell from the sky and they'd hit the ground. And so everyone was wondering, are we allowed to get these? I mean, they're just sitting there. Are they ours? Can we have them? And so try to be still, okay? Thank you. My daughter's filming for me. She's such a great help. But it was moving all over the place, so I don't make y'all dizzy. So we were like, can we have these? And so we realized, yeah, we could. And so I didn't want to pick up just anything. I wanted the specific ones that were specific for me. And in my family, we don't celebrate Christmas with Santa. We don't do a whole lot of traditional Christmas things or commercial ones. We try to keep it more on Jesus. And so what I got was actually a Peanuts, the cartoon, the Peanuts, the Charlie Brown. It was the Peanuts characters with a sleigh, and then two others that I can't recall. And I had my hands full of these huge inflatables, and I had them gathered up, and I found my daughter, and I said, see, I told you we'd have inflatables this year. I told you we would. And that was really funny, because from the time she was probably 4 or 5, she loved the big inflatables. And she called them blow-ups all the time, and she wanted the big blow-ups. And I had told her, I think recently, that maybe someday, you know, we'll be in a better financial position and maybe be a part of a family where we can have a bigger yard and we can have those. And I told her that sometime in the past year. So in the dream I said, look, I told you we'd have them. And so that was pretty much the end of the dream, as we were gathering them up, the best I can recall. Am I forgetting a part of the dream? Is that
I don't think so. I think you got it.
Great. So what I was getting from both of these is several things. And one is, she points out later, my daughter does, this was like promises fulfilled, promises that were coming, the rainbows, multiple rainbows. They were out of season. They were representing different seasons. And then also the phrase all at once. God has been giving me that phrase for a while now. I had a dream also back at the end of summer where I was waiting for a promise to be fulfilled, and one of the promises arrived, and while it arrived, I looked around and saw several other of the promises and things I've been praying for and things that God has told me I'll have, all surrounding me at the same time. And in that dream, I out loud proclaimed, I have it all at once. I have everything at once. And so that was really sweet because God woke me up one night and reminded me why that's so significant. At different points in my life, I have had a few blessings at a time, but I've always been in kind of deep want and deep need, whether it's poverty or sickness or bad relationships or whatever it might be. There's always been a lot of lack and a lot of trial and suffering and turmoil, and I've wanted to have everything at once. And I can remember telling people several times throughout my life, it seems like I can have a good thing here or there, but I never have it all good at once. And I know nobody does. Nobody has it perfect, but it just seemed like I always had that craving to maybe finally have a husband and a family and my child or more children and a good job and good health and good friends, and to kind of have everything that you want and everything God's promising you, ministry happening all at once, just to be at that place where you're not in lack and you're not longing and suffering. And I feel like God is showing so many of us that this is about to be a season, and I don't know when, I don't know times. I've got disappointed before when it comes to nailing down a time, because God said now about a few things in my life, but God's version of now is not my version of now, and that's been a disappointment. So don't get hung up on the timing. Just listen to what God's saying and don't stop believing. Don't stop believing. He's showing so many of us the same things. I think I mentioned it in the other one, but I don't know for sure. There are different ministries you want to check out and look at their most recent prophecies and words from God. Look at Christian Pierre, look at anything on Elijah List, and A.J. Jacobs, Emily Rose Lewis, the Lavores. There's so many people. Doug Addison. Look in the past month even, or couple of months. God is showing all his people that are super close to him, the remnant that have been faithful and maybe have been through a lot of trials and are waiting on promises. He's showing us all the same things in so many similar forms. The promises are coming. They're coming. I don't know when, but I'm not even hung up on the time anymore. I don't even care about the time. I would love it to be soon, but God's timing is perfect. So be not weary in well-doing, because you will reap. You will reap, you will harvest. And that's what we're all getting, is harvest and reaping, and it keeps coming up. It's going to come. And if you had similar dreams or words from God, please comment and let me know. Let me know what you're believing for, what you're praying for. Let me pray with you and stand in prayer with you. Let my daughter and I both stand in prayer for you and pray for us. I need healing. We need better finances. We want to be in the godly family that God wants us to be in, because I'm divorced after an abusive marriage. Pray that these promises are fulfilled, and that we can all testify to the glory of God, because that's what it's all about. That's going to show the people who have been watching us suffer while we're faithful to God. That's going to be the testimony to see that God is true to his word. He is true to his word, and it does work out. He does work all things together for good. It is going to happen, and whenever people see him deliver these promises, that's going to glorify him. It's going to bring glory to his name, to show that he is a God that is true to his word. He is a God worth serving. And if all he ever did was send Jesus to die for us so we could go to heaven, that's enough. He's worthy. But he's so much more than that, and so good to us. And it's not just going to be a harvest of promises and blessings either. It's a harvest of souls that are coming. And I think what God's been showing a lot of us is that as he gives us these blessings and takes care of us in such a visible, undeniable way, that's going to bring in a harvest of souls. That's going to draw people and woo people to the heart of God. So, like I said, let me know any words you've been given from God or promises that you're believing for, and let us pray together and join our prayers, join our faith. All right?